Hi everybody, we are going to talk about Blackboard. For some of you who used Blackboard previously, great. If you've never used Blackboard, this is probably a good video for you to watch. And even if you guys have used Blackboard, I show a little bit of tips and tricks that I've picked up in the 2 years that I've been in the program. So first things first, you log in. This is what it's going to look like. This is your dashboard. I have only focused on 2 aspects my entire time here, courses and organizations. These are the 2 things that you need to worry about. So I'm going to start with courses first. You will have different courses here when you start. This is way later in the program. And I'm going to go to adult practice because that's a good one. So here, as soon as you click on a course, you're going to go right up to announcements. If you click this blue bar, it'll pull out everything that you need to know. One of the most important things that you're going to have is your weekly learning modules. As a hybrid learner, this has been a consistency in every single course that I have taken. This allows you to come in, know exactly what you need to read. If you have any podcasts that you want, and exactly what is due. People will arrange it a little bit differently depending on the professor, but that's pretty standard for every class, and it's very, very, very efficient. So you're never really confused about, well, what's due? Is it in the weekly learning module? That's about it. The second most important thing, in my opinion, is your assignments. So I'm going to click the assignment. All of these assignments are listed. They have rubrics to them. They're awesome. This one doesn't have one. The next one is your summary board. Your summary board is, in the hybrid program, necessary. You're going to have questions. So we have an FAQ board that you can click on, and it shows just anybody's question and a response. Because sometimes, you know, I ask a question and another student can be like, no, this is where you turn it in. Or a professor's like, shoot, good question. This is what I was expecting. You know, just kind of like, we're not in class all the time. So you see something pop up. You want to not email the professor and just get that answer to yourself. You want to spread the wealth. So you can see there are 71 posts and we're in week 8. We're in week 8. So there's 71 posts in there. So there's a lot of questions, but it's nice to spread and to spread the answers and to also have resources. We have a couple of people that just kind of pop in resources. Hey, I found this. Here's a nice resource for everybody. Finally, you have your grades. I'm not going to go to that because, like I said, we're in week 8 and I have some grades back. Going down, this is when this blew my mind and I found this out like last semester, so that was kind of a bummer. You're going to have groups. So the summary board's great because your entire class, 20 students of you, are all going to be in this group. But a lot of times you have small groups to do discussions, to, you know, talk amongst yourself about the content. So I have a running case too. I'm in group 2. One of the really benefits, and I'm not going to click on it because I don't want anybody's name to pop up if they didn't want that. So I don't know how to fuzz out somebody's name. So you go to group discussion board. So click the arrow down, group discussion board. That'll get you right to the discussion board. I used to have to click the running case groups and then everyone's name would pop up and then I would push that. This is so much easier. Click it, you're right to the discussion board. Next thing that I just found out that I really like, I'm going to go to assignments. Right here, if you down click, you can go to any of your other classes. So I'm going to go to fieldwork. Boom, I'm on my assignment thing. So that's really nice. I was going to this top hand corner, this thing, putting it here. Then it goes, if I click this, it'll go back to the announcements. Like I was even on this one, it's back to the announcements. So that's how that works. I'm going to go to this drop-down menu again just to show you in case you're interested. Recently visited, so you can click on any of these and automatically go to that course. Or if I want to go to one of my organizations, I can click organizations and they're right there. So that's convenient because you can't just go to organization. If you're in the courses description box, you cannot go to an organization with that drop-down menu that I showed you. You have to come back here. This gets you to your updates. This, you will have, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4 reminders of stuff that happened. So you can click that to show, oh, I had a grade input. Here's the clarification. Here's an announcement. All of this stuff is right here. And then you can also click grades, which again, like I said, I'm not doing that. Going back to my Blackboard. And I'm going to start into organizations now because these are really important. And it's easy to kind of forget about them because you're so focused on the content and the courses and what you're doing in class, but they're very important. So the first one is your health compliance. You're going to hear a lot about this your first semester because most of the health compliance needs to be done during your first semester. And I'm not going to go into every little detail. The professors will. Most of this stuff, like I said, it's done first semester and you don't have to look at it again. Other things you do have to update. Your CPR, it needs to be in date the entire time you're in the program. Your flu vaccine needs to be updated every year. Your TB test needs to be updated every year. So these are things that you need to make sure you keep up on. So again, click in the blue bar, get this. So again, like I said, it looks like a lot. It's really, really, really not. So we're going to go into flu vaccine just so you can see. And this had a really good description. I want to just bring your attention to the different pictures here and the different, like this is underlined, this isn't. So if something is underlined, it's hyperlinked for you to turn something in. It's as simple as that. When you go to it, you can, browse my computer, enter a submission, click OK, it comes up. If it doesn't have a hyperlink, it's usually it's just this symbol. This is the only content that's there. And they're very, it'll tell you what it is. And some things have folders that you can click into, but you'll see there's a folder symbol there and you can clearly see that you can go into it. So I'm going to click on the submission just so you guys can see it. So this is my submission. I'm not going any farther down, but here it allows me to upload. It allowed me to upload. I can start new. I'm not going to because this is good until 2019. And then when I'm done, I'm like, okay, yeah, it did, I want to check. Did it go through? Okay, it went through. Great. As long as I push okay, it still stays up there. You don't have to worry about your work vanishing or how do I get out of this? So you can go ahead and click OK. And that's how that goes. And then I will go to my grades here so I can show you guys. So these are my grades for my health compliance. It's just a way to know that you're on the right track. One of the things to notice, and this is especially important for classes, these little bubbles pop up and they'll tell you, some professors might have just these words like this. Some might have your document in there that you can click download and then look at all of the comments that they made. Some professors don't use this bubble at all, but you just click here. Now, I can't on this one, but you click here and it'll go back to where you submitted and it'll have comments in the margin. So really work on that. Ask a professor if you're can't find any comments, did you make comments and where can I find it? I went through one of my classes and they never did these buttons or these, what are those little text boxes? I had said something to someone about I don't have any comments on any of my work. And they were like, are you clicking this? No. Oh, well, there all it was. So, try to find what a professor likes, but those are the main ways that people put in comment. I haven't seen anything different. That doesn't mean that there's not a different way to add in comments. Okay, I think that's all I really wanted to talk about health compliance. Make sure you stay compliant your entire time at GVSU. Just, make sure your TB results are, and they tell you exactly this, I need to do it before 11/15 of this year. So just make sure you stay up on it. Okay, when you click my Blackboard, you will immediately go ahead back to your home screen, which is really nice. Next, we're going to go to the Occupational Science and Therapy student site. Now, they will, again, go through this through orientation, but I thought this would be a nice thing for you to see from a student perspective. Most important thing, content folders. This has everything that you need to know. It's classified really nicely, so you can click it and be done with it. I think that's all I really wanted to say about these. They're going to talk about all of this more in depth, so I don't want to talk your ear off. You will have your own, level 1, level 2 folder when you get to it. So for hybrid students, we don't get to it until the second fall, so you're not going to see that pop up until you're there for a year. And then you click on that and they don't even know what's in this. So places for us to see how I said the folders, it's still hyperlinked. Here, I can go to this one because that one's done already. So, and this is, how to turn in fieldwork paperwork. So it's pretty self-explanatory, but it's kind of nice to have someone go through it. I think that's all my tips and tricks. I hope that helps everybody. I know it can be confusing, and you're going to find your way as you go through. So thank you for your attention. I hope that's helpful.